the latter half of the 18th century, England was in an epidemic of crime. The Old Bailey and jails were at capacity. Old warships of the line were being used as prison hulks to help alleviate this overcrowding. The majority of offenders were petty criminals, severely sentenced for no more than stealing clothing or food, which in some cases today would not even put an offender before a magistrate, let alone 7 years in prison, or worse, hanged. England was, to an extent, a class system, where one born of standing would, in most situations, enjoy a productive and well-off life due to family connections. If you were not, then the job of making ends meet could be more difficult, and even left to your children to earn anything they could. Education was not as important as survival, so through despair, crime became a way of life. Captain Cook first mapped the east coast of Australia in 1770, and upon his return reported to the first Sea Lord of the Admiralty of his discovery of a great southern land, and as great as this discovery was, the powers that be filed it away for another day. Crime was rampant and solutions needed. The government of the day wanted the riffraff out and as far away as possible. Some attempt had been made to transport convicts to the west coast of Africa, but ended in disaster with 50% of convicts dying. Some ships suffered mutinies, such as HMS Swift and Mercury, but the idea of transportation had solidified in the minds of government. In 1784, James Matra, one of Cook's midshipmen from the 1770 voyage, went to see Lord Sydney, the Home Secretary, and helped plant the seed for Botany Bay as a penal colony. Although Matra's original idea was for a safe haven for American loyalists, after England lost America in the War of Independence of 1776, Lord Sydney soon came to the conclusion that New South Wales would be suitable for the purpose of a penal colony. A committee was formed with regard to settlement. Joseph Banks, a powerful figure and part of Cook's original expedition, gave powerful evidence in support of consolidation and colonisation by any means. By 1787, Lord Sydney's plan was given the green light, and King George III's speech of 1787 simply announced that the transportation of convicts was in order to alleviate the overcrowded state of the jails. On the 13th of May, 1787, the First Fleet sailed into history, commanded by Arthur Phillip. Thanks to his studious planning and a trip of 15,000 miles lasting 8 months, which commended only 40 souls to the deep, the First Fleet arrived at Botany Bay on the 20th of January, 1788. 6 days later, on the 26th of January, 1788, the fleet moved to Port Jackson, known today as Sydney. Ben Hall's destiny had begun.